We can't work then.
Hello, everybody. I am having some technical difficulties, so please let me know if you're able to hear or see us. I'm having some technical difficulty. I don't know what's going on with it. Give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear and see me clearly. And apparently, something's been taking some of my stuff. I'm losing some stuff, so help me out. So I don't know if they're hearing us or not.
You're not responding.
Mm-mm. So that just popped up. Technical difficulties with the sound. Jill said she can hear. Okay, good. Let me see here. Can everybody else hear me good? Hear us? I'm having technical difficulties on this end. It's been freezing up and some other things been kind of wiped out. I'm not sure what's going on. So just let me know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, baby. Um, let's see who's here tonight. Let's see who's here. Pastor Norman may or may not be with us tonight. He had to do something, had to run an errand for his mom. And he said he might jump in here. He might get back in time and he may not. But anyway, I hope you had a good day today. It's a little warmer today than it was yesterday. And so it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad to get out and do a few things. I need to get me a glass of water, and I didn't do that. I need to go get that. I'm going to leave that up there just in case, because we might have some more difficulty. Let's see here. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Can you talk to them for just a minute while I go get me some water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have one.
There's more coming in.
Yeah, they were waiting for you to say something. Yeah, they're saying they can hear us. Good. Good. Yeah, just before going live, we had quite a few things happening with the system. I don't know what was going on. It was locking up. I'm hoping that it won't do it anymore. We'll see. I hope it won't. I hope. All right, let's do this.
My Lord been stopping all day. So I have to be slow and easy.
Girl Kelsey said, Pastor, you can talk. He said, you can talk.
Everything good out there, everybody.
He just wasn't talking. Let's do this. Lesson 189 out of the Course in Miracles says, simply do this. And it's a good way to get yourself into the mode of reception and to bring yourself out of the mind so much. So if you would, you can just listen or you can repeat after me. It says, simply do this. And that's, like I said, it's lesson 189 out of the Course in Miracles. There's Pastor Greason. There's John Greason is in the house.
The grease.
Brother Kessler is here. Thank you, Brother
Kessler.
Kessler. My sister is here, and Sandra is here. Dee and George is here. I hope George is with her. And then there's Jill. She's here. Yeah, so we're good. We're going to be good. Let's see. Let's do this. I want you to repeat after me. I hope you're in a place where you don't have a lot of distractions. And again, Pastor Norman may or may not be on with us tonight. He had some things he had to take care of. And he said he might get back in time, he might not. But in the meantime, we're here. And Dee said George is at work. Oh, that's right. George probably is working. And there's Sister Phyllis just popped in. Hey, Sister Phyllis. Let's say this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world. Lay aside all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false. Empty your mind of what it thinks is good or bad. Empty your mind of every thought it judges and of all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold on to nothing. Do not bring with you one thought the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with holy, empty hands unto your God. And so it is. And so it is. All right, you got something good on your plate tonight?
No, I don't have much tonight. I'm running slow and I'm trying to keep my nose from dripping.
And it's running, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, all day long.
I heard something today I was thinking about, and it says when you have a thought, is the thought coming from your conditioning or is it coming from awareness, that pure, that place of authentic awareness? Is it coming from a conditioning or is it coming from the place of awareness? Most of the time, when we are aware of our thoughts, is coming from the place of conditioning, because we have been entrenched with how things ought to be and what we expect it to be. And then when the conditioning comes through, it catches our attention and it causes emotional upheavals. But in Romans 8:1, it says that, I'm going to read it right quick. And forgive us for being a little low key. We had quite a few things happening just before we went live. We're trying to regroup. All right, it says in Romans 8:1, it says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. There is therefore now no condemnation. So in the awareness, let's see how I want to say it. When you witnessing yourself as that pure self and not falling back into that concept of yourself, of who you believe you to be, there is no condemnation. It doesn't mean that you do everything right and there won't be any mistakes. It just means that there's no one judging you for it. And so to learn how not to judge ourselves is the big thing, that is the thing that we have trouble with. We tend to judge ourselves for everything that we think we should not fall into, every mistake we make, and every fault that we see. Gene Woods, do we know you, sweetheart?
Sounds familiar.
Where do we know you from? Let us know where you're coming in from.
It sounds familiar.
Well, it does. It does sound pretty familiar. So, seeing yourself beyond your conditioning is almost like a daily practice, because most of the time we're monitoring ourselves pretty closely, especially those of us who have sensitive conscience. We tend to be very hard on ourselves. And so we don't relax on the inside. We're constantly trying to perform and constantly trying to be a certain kind of being, a certain kind of person. Yes, John, a pastor was on a roll on Sunday. Yes, he was. He's still on a roll.
It's slow rolling, but I'm rolling, man.
Rolling like a river, rolling like a river.
I'm rolling, but it's a slow roll. I think my tire got a square place in it today. It's changing this weather.
Needless to say, we probably won't be on here long with you tonight.
But the key to this thing is, regardless of how many bad thoughts go through or bad feelings, that's just what it is. Let it be what it is, but you know better. You know that you are not the bad feelings or the thoughts. So you have to work with that a lot of times and just being still. Mm-hmm. And I never have been able to stop the thoughts from going through my head like some people claim they can do.
Yeah.
I never had the chance to get to a place where there was no bad feeling, bad thoughts, ideals, past memories. It's always been there with me. Now, these people that say that they don't have that, I wonder where planet are they from?
I know. I've never had that the pleasure of not.
Or there's something that gives off the idea that you got it and everybody else don't. And then when you talk to them long enough, you can hear it. You can tell it's there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's not the matter of stopping. They always give off the idea of, I stopped this, I stopped that. Well, if you did, why are you still having trouble with it? So that means that the alternative to that is there is another road, a path that you can take that is running side by side to that. It's like riding on a train. You are presently always in the moment, but you are presently becoming the future and presently becoming the past. When you look out the window, everything is going past you and you in the moment on the train.
What did we talk about Sunday? I can't even remember. What did we talk about Sunday? I don't know. Oh, I think it was about time and what did we talk about on Sunday, guys? What did we talk about? I can't even remember.
I would like to hear from you guys out there. How do you take all this kind of mystical talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need to get a response from you from a mystical side of you that you see. You can type, like they said, I can talk. You can type.
So they can type.
Yeah, you can type in there and let us know what is the turnaround for you and what you've heard all these months and weeks, maybe years. And it would be good to go back over some of these things and reevaluate them to make sure that you are looking at it from the right perspective. Then pretty soon you'll get to the place where you will be solidly locked in to your true identity, regardless of how much wind blows, storm may come.
It sounds like a song.
Yeah, stormy winds may blow, stormy winds
Yeah.
may come,
Yeah.
blowing, rocks may shake, may be earthquakes.
Nose may be running.
Yeah, like mine now, it's dripping like a faucet. And but you still, just because it is there, it is not strong enough. It should not be strong enough for you to lose awareness.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is, it took you practice to get to the where you believe that your thoughts were you.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Yes, John, I remember now. It was a fullness of time. We talked about that. And I started off talking about what it meant when he said the fullness of time. That is a destined place or destined event that happens after a long period of time of waiting, a long period of waiting. And it's the preparatory process. There are events that have to take place in order for that thing to come to fruition, or that desire, that prayer, the answer to that prayer to come to fruition. And that is what is called the fullness of time. So when it happens, it was destined for that appointed time.
Yeah. And see, what condition is done is mind fed.
Mm-hmm.
Mind fed religion.
Mm-hmm.
And mind fed is all the things that you studied and you accept. There are some things that you were looking into and starting out that you don't need to use anymore, because it has, if you look over it, it has not brought anything successful in your life by thinking that, well, as a man thinks, so is he. Well, then, as if that thinking that is going through your head 24/7, if you take hold of it, then you side in with it, you won't be nothing. And some part of the mind wants you to think that you're something because you know something from the mind, and that's not quality awareness.
Yeah.
Quality awareness is when it's raining, you're dry. When it's snowing, you're dry. But if you get over into the field and you say, I'm wet because I'm just soaked. But you better remember, your eternal self does not stop because it's wet or dry.
Yeah, we talked also about seasonal suffering. I remember that John said he had a turnaround on Sunday. Last night on Sunday's message. I'd like to know what you meant by that. But yeah, so we talked about seasonal suffering. So we're in time anomalies. I heard you talk about that years ago, that we're in anomalies, meaning some of us, some things have happened at some period of time in our lives, and we haven't broken out of that. We're still in that particular time frame and in that anomaly, reliving what happened at that particular time, and not having gotten free of that. We have that season of suffering continues.
See, in your kingdom self, there are no such thing as fullness of time, loss of time, short time, long time. Time in itself is outside, out of time, ain't got enough time. It's time to do this, it's time to do that. That does not exist in the kingdom of God, in your sanctuary, true identity. I wish I could say it another way. I'm searching for words to describe what does not have words to describe with. You are the stillness, and it does not change because there is no sign of stillness. Stillness or no stillness does not change who you are as the eternal stillness. And that's something that, well, let's say if you're still now, will it last the test? No.
No.
It won't.
No.
Only thing that lasts the test is that part of you that you know. You got to know more about your already still self than you do about the noisy self.
I saw I think it was a short video I saw it, and it was about this little baby who had just discovered rain. He was a toddler. And they let him outside, or it was a girl, I think it was a girl. They let her outside, and she loved the rain. She was barefoot, she was running in the rain, and she was just having so much fun. Just running in the rain and feeling the rain fall on her. And I thought about us as adults. I don't know what it is that makes us when if we get caught in the rain, the first thing we'll do is do this, as if doing this is going to stop the rain from hitting you.
And then, yeah, I know if we do that.
Yeah.
You duck your head.
The mind has a way of causing us to see things and believe things that aren't necessarily true. When we do this in the rain, we're not protected from the rain. We're still being covered by the rain. So instead of letting go, we try to, in an illusion, cover ourselves.
It's said in the book that nothing shall separate me from the love of Christ. And what he's saying is not that you won't feel love. See, this is what the trick of this world is. If I don't feel it, it ain't real. If I don't see it, it's not there. If I don't put my hands on it, it's not there. If I can't hear somebody say it to me, I don't have it. That part is an indication of not being grown up in Christ.
Mature.
Or put it like this, a simple way. If that is still dominating your feelings and thoughts, is an indication that you have not heard the revelatory truth about your true identity. Your true identity does not change because it's raining, snowing, sleeting. And that is something that is the supernatural walk of the Spirit.
It is. Now, I want to respond to John because John's pointing out something that I think is really valid. He said that he went back and watched Sunday's message again last night. And I'm glad that it has really resonated with you, and I'm so glad that it has. What you taught us years ago to not camp at any particular point. So we can't reproduce anything. And I know you're not saying to do that, John. I'm just pointing this out. We can't camp at a particular point because that will prevent you from getting what's coming to you right now. And so I don't want you to I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying that that's what happens. So don't camp there, John. Don't camp there.
You are not the don't do or the to do or the do.
Oh.
You are not the doer of the one that causes the havoc in the brain and the mind. You're not the one that's stopping it. You're not the one that's upset with it.
Yeah.
You're not the one that's grieved by it. You're not the one that hate it. You're not the one that's trying to find out how to get rid of it. Because if you fully awake to that area, you realize there's not very much for the raggedy man or lady to do. It's them, it is it that gives off the idea that something ain't right.
Now, what's a raggedy man?
Raggedy man is somebody sitting around on the corner feeling like they ain't got nobody to talk to, nowhere to go, nothing to do because they got saved and they lost everything, no communication with people. that man or that mind does not come from your eternal self. I mean, I'm trying to make it straight down the middle of the road with you, because most of the addictions that we have is what it is. It's an addiction. And it doesn't change anything about your eternal self. You can fuss and cuss all day long. It ain't going to change that part of you.
No.
And it's still there. You can take sides with it and go into a drag, or rag, or scrape, or a bump. Hit a speed bump, lose control, get out of whack. You know what your eternal self would do? Here's what it would do. That no doing self will be doing this. And all of it, all of that, you hear noise, you hear music, you hear past, here come, you hear the past, you see what you did in school, you see what somebody did to you, stole something from you, you see where you were in jail before you got into this, you see all kinds of hurtful things that people said to you, but none of that is coming from your pure self. It's just the conditioned self that's having problem with another condition that's created a big condition.
Yeah.
And none of it will change your stewardship of being the eternal Christ. Somebody just pulled up.
It's a truck in front of the house.
Okay. But we're talking to you straight down the middle path, because when you're out walking, you pass a lot of trees, cars come by, people speak to you on the road, people stop, people turn like they are trying to make a turn at a curb, but you're walking straight down the middle of the road or the side of the road. Only thing you do, watch it, here come. Only thing you do if you walk in the middle path is get out the way. That's the least you can do. Mm-hmm. And the way you get out the way is remember. See, the fall is forgetting and not remembering that you didn't fall. You have never sinned in your eternal self. Now, that's something we don't hear in church. We say everybody is a sinner. Depends on what part of yourself or your part of them that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because sin have no dominion over you as the Christ identity. Now, don't take that and run off down the street and run into a tree trying to make your car drive without you steering it. Oh, I don't have to steer the car no more. I'm the pure self. All I have to do, but you and God both gonna get killed. Or you and God both gonna get a hit. Hey, you and God both gonna get a cartoon out on your head.
Well, if I go back to some of the things that we talked about on Sunday, one thing that disturbs most of us who, especially those of us who have gone through the Christian path, come through the Christian path, we've been taught, and I have to say for the particular sect of those of us who come into churches where we talked about God speaking to us, God leading and guiding us, and having some manifestations of miracles and those kinds of things, we have been conditioned to believe religiously that we're not supposed to go through anything. Mm-hmm. We're not supposed to feel bad ever. We're not supposed to ever have any threatening things happening.
So that's where the confession come in.
Yeah. And so when we pray and nothing happens, or it takes so long to happen, the delay period is where we have all of our anxiety. I'm like you. I'm not interested in confessing what I have and don't have. I'm in the business of finding out what I know as experiential and what already
facts.
Is.
What already is. And what already is your cry. And look, what is so damnable about this whole thing is that your bridge can be incapacitated for you to cross. But on the opposite side of the bridge, that block is coming from somewhere else and not from you. You're not blocking yourself. Your eternal self does not block itself. It is the release of freedom, whether you're on the left side of the road or the right side of the road. Awareness, consciousness down the middle path is not blocked.
And adding to what you just said, a lot of times we struggle in the anxiety, especially in the periods of waiting. We struggle with why it hasn't happened,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Why it doesn't take place. Is God angry with me? Have I missed the will of God? Have I allowed myself to be tricked by what we call the devil?
Yeah.
Am I under attack?
Yeah.
Am I under a curse?
Yeah.
Have I done something in my past and now I'm reaping? Going through this because I'm reaping it. All of those things come through the mind, and you hear all of that stuff coming through. But the only way to shorten the delay period is to allow the preparations to take place, the events that have to take place in order to uncover what you already are, not to cause you to be it, but to uncover what you already are. And as that happens, that you're desiring just shows up. It's like a let there be. It's not go get it. It's a let there be. And so
that's right.
It's not like if we say relax. Most of the time when somebody says relax, you go through, you start applying effort to relax.
It's called learning how to abide in your spiritual body, learning how to abide in your divine self, learn how to abide in the part of you. So I remember when I was traffic, what do you call it? Traffic patrol in school in the 6th and 7th grade.
Do you have a little yellow?
I had a little yellow
jacket,
raincoat, and the yellow hat, and the boots. When I put the boots on and go all the way down the hill from the school, I'm like a policeman. I can step out in the middle of the road with a sign or with that yellow suit and throw my hand up and cars stop. If I got out there and didn't have that coat on, the cars would not recognize me or the people in the car. So I stop traffic, let the student cross the street, and then I get out of the way. But when I get back to the classroom and take that raincoat, yellow raincoat and hat off, I'm dry. I don't care if it's raining or not.
But you just pointed out something. So when you're wearing that little yellow raincoat and hat,
you never did wear that, did you?
I never had to wear one.
Yeah,
no.
I did.
But when you were wearing that, you had a clothing that made you believe.
That's right. You were covered.
Made you believe, and not just believe, but know that you were invincible at that moment.
And your authority.
You could stand in front of traffic.
And your authority is not just a word. Words is one word. And you don't even have to say it.
Right. And you can stand in front of traffic and know that they will stop.
Yeah. You don't even have to say stop.
Even if the thought goes through you, are they going to stop?
That comes through you.
You still have the knowing because you're dressed with the outfit. You know that they have to respect.
That's the authority that you wear.
So the Christ outfit that we don't see with our physical eyes, it's right here. We're covered. We're already robed.
The authority of God,
wearing the robe of Christ already,
is the raincoat. It is your true spirit body identity inside of this body that is saying, that knows. You notice I stopped. That is saying, without words,
so
you stop traffic.
So when you were wearing that little yellow raincoat and hat and those little boots, you didn't have to stop to ask yourself if they were going to respect what they saw. And you had such a feeling of having power, being empowered.
Yeah.
Not so much with force, but with authority. And so it's the same with us when we're clothed with this awareness. The thought may come through that, the doubt may come through, but it doesn't change what you know.
When you were in high school, did they have safety boys or boys with them yellow coats on?
Not in high school. In elementary, yes.
Between the sixth grade.
Elementary, yeah.
The fifth and sixth grade, we had that.
Yeah, elementary.
But I just wondered, do you remember that yellow coat and hat? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they let the boy do that. See, that's sometimes some class we get out at 2 and some we get out at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And what we had to do was also put the flag up and take it down and learn how to fold it and all that stuff. And I walked down all the way down the hill, come back up, take the coat off, hang it in the closet. And then at the end of school, there'll be a patrol lady down at doing that. But in the middle of the school, the 12 o'clock and the 2 o'clock, I had to be the patrol person of the traffic. And believe me, the traffic was heavy. Now, some days you'll have heavy days when your monkey act a fool like he about to break the limb off the tree. But then that don't disturb you because it's raining real hard outdoors. When we are chosen to be safety boys or no girls, it's boys, we went out rain, sleet, and snow to stop the traffic so children can cross the main street to go back home. In the mornings, the patrol lady did that, but in the evening, we did that. Now, I got just as much authority to stand out in front of a car and stop it as a policeman do. I didn't go to school for that, but I went to school to get that, or I went to school to find out how that worked. What we're doing is showing you how it really worked. If you call it the born again experience, you're not walking in your full authority if you got to go around everybody you meet with your spiritual experience of confessing with your mind, I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. You ain't there yet, because you're still trying to prove that you got authority. I have that coat on. I don't have to prove nothing. 3 or 4 of us go down that hill, and when we get out there on the corner, if there's a child on the other side that needs to come across, we wait for traffic to clear, and we go out there with our hands and do this.
I remember you when we were down at Bishop Patterson's church.
Yeah.
And you had to minister, and there was an experience that you had that night where you said you saw yourself clothed with the robe that Jesus wore. Yeah. And it was because we don't realize
there's no resistance.
Right. That it wasn't necessarily the person of Clifton that was doing the ministry. Yeah. But when you saw the robe, it was telling you that it was Christ doing the ministry.
It was him doing it.
But it was using the Clifton body. And
that's right. Using the cut for the Jews.
That's right. So the robe, we are all clothed with that.
Every one of us, whether you're apostle, prophet, possum, or evangelist.
We're suited with it. And John said it's having on the suit of salvation. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're suited with that Christ self. And we don't realize we are, even when we're not aware of it, it's still present.
That suit does not come on and off just because we don't feel good, look good, or dress a certain way. If you stay out of church and don't never go back, you still have that suit on. So when you understand this, to me, what we're talking about tonight is no place like rest.
That's it. That's it.
You don't have to pray for it anymore.
And the little boy in the yellow raincoat and hat and boots was resting in his authority.
I noticed one
what
thing.
The suit gave him.
I noticed one thing about those suits. You had to go through all of them, pick them out, because some of them were a little bit too big. And you had to pick out
one. You were too little.
I'm too little, that's right. Yeah. So I had to pick out one that I could walk in, because if you don't, and what's so crazy about this suit, this raincoat, this yellow raincoat, it drugged the sidewalk.
You were
So
too
your
short
feet,
too. You
your
were too
feet,
short too.
oh Lord, yes. And I wanted to be that too because I got a chance to get out of the classroom. Now, watch this.
I wanted a little yellow raincoat. I really did.
Yeah.
And the little boots too.
And I didn't have to carry that around with me from home. It was already at school waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is waiting. That what we talking about, that the outer raincoat is waiting for your awareness.
So you
to
really
note it.
Yeah, so you're really not becoming anything.
You do not become anything in Christ.
Mm-mm.
You are already everything.
You're
For
already
Jesus Christ is made unto you
Mm-hmm.
the yellow raincoat, the hat, and he fixed it so the rain would not get you wet. So you're not going to lose
But
anything.
even if the rain hits you, be like the little baby.
Yeah.
The little baby that just enjoyed the rain, because you can throw your hands up to try to cover yourself and you still haven't covered yourself.
Now, isn't it amazing how awareness gives off the idea?
You know what?
That when you take that coat off, you don't have no more authority.
Yes. Now it is interesting too that the mind has a tendency to try to cover itself, to protect itself, to defend itself. And all the while, it can't do it. It can't do it. And to know that we are already covered is why we're protected and why we're defended and why we're preserved. But we think we can logically do something to do that for ourselves and end up very frustrated because of it.
When we got ready to send a special box or letter, maybe the same way now, in Winston, when I was just getting started in this, I was standing at the counter getting some stamps. There was a line behind me in the post office on Patterson Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was standing there, there was a lady behind me. I don't know what happened to her, what was going on with her, but she got dizzy and her knees buckled and she fell to the floor.
I remember that, yeah.
No sooner than that lady, at the side of my eye.
You were in the post office, right?
I was in the post office at the counter getting stamps.
Yeah.
When I looked out the side of my eye, I'm looking out of both eyes like the cherub angel. When I looked, I noticed every move she made. When the minute second that she started going, I grabbed her coat by the sleeve on the shoulder. And I calmly lowered her down. I didn't hear nothing. I saw it and felt it. I lowered her down to keep from injuring herself. She was stretched out on the floor, and I stayed down on the floor with her. And the teller behind the counter come out, and they had people there waiting. But I caught her to break the fall, because if she had hit that floor, ain't no telling what she done. Right. And I said, "Are you okay?" I felt behind her head to see whether she was bleeding or not. All of a sudden, I noticed I became a physician. My authority was there, and it came out. I never felt anything like that.
The doctor was already there on board.
That's the reason why that song says, "Jesus is my doctor. He brings me all of my medicine in my room." Your medicine is the Christ. Your authority is the Christ. Your body has only authority from the perspective of the physical, but the spirit part of you covers soul, body, and finite world.
And so for me, what that says is we struggle with believing that we are complete.
Yeah.
That what we need is on board.
Yeah.
And we
full package.
We struggle with that.
You are the full package.
Mm-hmm. And so we find ourselves trying to grasp to get that, to be that, or to obtain that, when all the while it's on board. It's already here. It's already innate. It's already here, inherited in us. So
and and what's so amazing about this identity that you are as the eternal self, it expands itself with your body. Let me tell you how it expands. When you were little, just barely walking, it was there. Yeah. Do you not know that it was the eternal spirit that causes you to make the first step as a baby?
Yes, to have the courage to do it.
The courage to do that.
And the determination to do it.
That was the spirit of your God self.
The courage and determination to do it
was
God.
That thing that's I'm wiping out, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. You were born in Christ. Somebody say, well, the Bible doesn't say it. It don't have to when you know the full truth of awareness that your eternal self was what caused your body to develop in the womb.
Yes. Now in Colossians 2:10, you heard me read this before. It's one of my favorite passages. In Colossians 2:10, it says, "And you are complete in Him, which is the head of all."
Complete in Him,
which is the head of all principality of power.
That's beyond anything you've been taught in church about 12 years old getting saved. Jesus wasn't but 12. Do you know before he ever came on the scene, after he was born, the missing years, he was still covered with God, and the God identity was still there. Well, he was born of a virgin. That ain't got to do with a fat baby's butt. All it has to be made aware of in you, that's right, fat baby's butt, is that you are fully waking up to what we're talking about because you run across what is called union with Christ.
Yes, yes. So the doctor is on board, the teacher is on board, whoever needs to be there at that moment, you are that. You may not feel like you're that. You may not have the experience of knowledge being there for that.
That's right.
But it's there.
And Miss Sandra said she had the same thing to happen to her.
Mm-hmm. She sure did. Yeah.
And that's the Christ consciousness.
It is. Did you notice there's no panic in it?
No.
There's no panic in it at all.
There's your Christ self right now on this site. There's no panic in
I
you.
think that's what we witness when we hear people say, or hear about people who have had, say someone in a fire in their house, and all of a sudden they were able to move something really, really heavy, just to get that person out.
Yeah.
And we always say it's adrenaline, but it's the Christ coming forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about tonight is so real.
Yeah.
It is so real that for you to be able to hear, sit there and talk, or not say anything online, your Christ self is dominating the whole identity. And the lie is that it don't seem like it.
Right. So, yeah.
I'm calling everything in your life and this life that interferes with us being aware of the Christ being the life that we are now, with or without religion, with or without going through some oath or some agreement with a confession. You are beyond a confession. You are beyond belief.
Yes.
For Jesus Christ has made unto us wisdom, sanctification, faith, wisdom, and anything else you want to add on to it. I'm telling you, even if you don't find it in the book, it still make it so that you are that Christ self.
And that's why I said,
I'm sorry.
That's why I said,
if you want to go another way, that's your business.
That's why I said, when you're brought before the magistrates, take no thought what you're going to say, because it will be given to you at that moment. Yes, everything that you need at that moment will
go in your Bible, or if it's in the course, find your book. Find the 16th chapter of Luke. I said, I've been saying it for years. You will see where one man was in hell and another man was in Abraham's bosom. Mm-hmm. One was a beggar and one was a rich man.
Yes.
Both of them, after they lost their suit or their bodies, was still an eternal being. Yes. You couldn't. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was in the fiery furnace that Nebuchadnezzar made so hot that even the soldiers around it couldn't stay there. It would burn them up. Mm-hmm. They were in the furnace burning, but it did not touch the eternal self, because the eternal self covered their spirit, soul, and body to keep them from being disintegrated by the fire. And they stepped out there, and that's what convinced Nebuchadnezzar that the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was more real than his kingdom.
So that tells me this, Pastor, that in the cases of in the times when we're faced with something that we are afraid of, or we feel like we're not capable, those kinds of things, or we're not enough. The thought of that can be present and still not nullify
That's right.
what you are, because at the moment that it's needed, it comes forth. And the Christ comes forth.
That Christ does not stop being the real self just because of calamity, warfare, and destruction. Even our president don't know what we're talking about. If he did, he would look at himself totally different. And I'm not politicking, and I'm not saying anything against him. I'm telling you there's some benefits that he don't even know about the Christ identity. That if he did, he would see things totally different all over the world. And that's with any Republic or Democrat. I'm not saying anything for you to cut my motor off. I'm just telling you how powerful and the witnessing of what I'm saying is so universal that even our government is not aware of it. And we have tried to get them to see it, but they can't because they locked into a story that is not true about their identity.
Well, that's why we must see God as our source.
That's right.
And not the government as our
That's
source.
right. Now,
not the government as our source.
Meditate on these things and bear them in your heart. For Jesus told me years ago, I have yet many things to reveal to you and to show you, but not now, but it will be shown to you. That's the reason why Christ is the eternal boss man that raise a man up and bring a man down. He's the full compensation covering of every man in the universe. I rest my case.
We're going to rest our case, y'all. We're going to rest our case.
Look, we thank you for the gifts that you've given. And the greatest gift that you could give is the Christ self. It is him that is experiencing you listening at himself on the phone, on the television, and wherever you are. Be with us as we go through from now to January for the transition of our house to be kept in peace by completely living in it until we get ready to leave these bodies.
You just said a whole mouthful.
I said a whole history
mouthful
of us and you. You have been given to us. You have supported us many years from that such called thing as day one. I'm asking you not to stop, please. Continue on because you are blessing us. 1,100 million eternal selves and ways. You are the way that God is using. God is using all of you to help us keep this conversation going.
I think we're frozen up again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're frozen up again. If you can still hear and see us, I think we're frozen up again.
Yeah, we froze. Can't see me moving.
But if you can hear us, we love you, and we'll be back on Sunday at 10, live and in color.
Let us know if you can hear us now. If you can come back.
Because it's locked up again. Yeah, it's locked. Yeah, we did.
We froze up if you can hear us. We say what we need to say.
Yeah. It just as locked up as it could be. Something in my computer, I believe.
Some kind of bug on
it. I can't shut it down.
It ain't that Gemini out there, is it?
No. It's funny.